Hey, I'm Cole and this is Zoe,
Hi.
and we're going to talk about swimming in general and our personal experiences on the swim team. So, swimming has been around since the bacterium first formed a flagellum. Swimming as a sport has been around unofficially as a friendly race for most of human history, and it became official as a competitive sport in the 1800s. As the sport has grown and evolved, competitive swimming has spread to club swimming and high school teams, such as my high school and Zoe's high school, Greystone, which has been around for less than 20 years. The central focus of swim is to improve as an individual and perform as a team like any other sport, but the meaning of being on the swim team dives deeper than that. It is also about making friends, having fun, and the memorable experiences during practice, meets, and other times with swimmers. So everyone joins the swim team differently. People join at different years, and everyone has a different level of experience and a different amount of friends joining with them. I joined swim my sophomore year because freshman year I thought that the swim team was too exclusive and strange. Only people that have already swam their whole life could join it. The reason I joined sophomore year, though, was that my friend convinced me that it wasn't weird or exclusive to people who have swam their whole life, that anyone can join the team. I believed him and I joined the team with no experience as a swimmer, and I was welcomed in. Nobody looked down on me or thought badly of me because I was new to swim and because I sucked at swimming. The swim team was very accepting and they were friendly to me and to anyone else that joined. This uh, way of joining the swim team matches swim coach Natari's viewpoint. He says, the growth of our team is a product of how much fun the kids are having. They tell their friends, and the next thing they know, they are bringing 2 or 3 friends to practice. So some people join swim through past experience, not through friends, like Zoe. Would you like to tell us how you joined the Greystone swim team?
Yeah, so I started swimming at Graceville my freshman year, and I have been swimming for as long as I can remember. I think I started when I was around 4 years old, and so I'm one of those people who have always been doing it my whole life, and so it just made sense to continue it in high school.
Yeah, so you can kind of see the two main ways that people join the swim team through friends or through past experience. If you've swam your whole life, it just makes sense to keep on swimming. Just like Nemo says in Finding Nemo, just keep swimming. So once they're on the team, everyone gains more friends and more experience while having fun and swimming. So a normal swim practice and also a swim meet are where you make these friends and where you make memorable experiences while you improve, compete, and have fun. The website SwimSwam quotes outsiders saying things like, "Don't you get bored?" But practice isn't just staring at the bottom of the pool and swimming. It's about having fun, and honestly, it's kind of peaceful when you're swimming. So practice at Greystone starts about an hour after school, and since it starts so late after school, we often socialize with other swimmers, and we get really close to them during this time, as well as in the locker room before practice and during practice. Practice a lot of times will have breaks between sets, and after the main set, it'll have a break while we compete against other people on our team in races. So during any of these breaks, we talk to each other and we bond with each other about practice and about these fun races we're having, and we get closer to each other. This way of practicing is reflected in a paper from Biomed Research International that says playing sports involves a group experience and a shared sense of achievement. Further, students indicated that sports are a source of fun and pleasure and can provide self affirmation. So, what do you think about this statement, Zoe?
Yeah, I agree with it. I think that it's really important to partake in a school sport or club because you really get to meet people you would have never talked to otherwise. And it really helps you to understand who you are as a person by meeting all these different people who have one interest that's the same as yours.
Yeah, and while you meet all these new people, you make tons of other experiences and you have fun on the team. One experience that I can really remember, and you probably remember too, Zoe, is when my best friend Daniel forgot his jammers and had to borrow a tiny, tiny Speedo that someone had on them. And he came out of the locker room with it on, and his face was so red. and his hands were covering as much as he could. But they could never cover enough, so he was very embarrassed. And the whole practice, he would try to stay as deep underwater as he could and try to hide from everyone. And everyone just kept on picking on him about it. So, other than practice, meets are a great opportunity to bond with teammates over shared relays and the competition. So, here's a narrative on my experience at my first swim meet. So, the meet is at home. I walk over to the pool with Danielle about an hour after school. I already feel nervous because I've never swam in a meet before. But Danielle looks happy and is joking around like always without a care in the world. And we get to the locker room and we change with the rest of our team and a few members from the other team that had already gotten there. We all talk about the upcoming events, how we feel. And some of them are nervous, some of them are excited, and some of them say they just want to get it over with. But we talk freely with ourselves and with the other team, with no exclusion from the people on the other team. We talk to them like they're fellow swimmers, because they are. So after changing, I get my bag and go to the pool and warm up with my team, and we swim and do turns and dive. And after we finish warming up, we get out of the pool and we start joking and talking around and try to push the stress and nervousness about our upcoming events to the side. Whenever one of my close teammates starts to swim when the meet starts, I go and watch them and we cheer them on and congratulate them once they get back to the team. And after a little bit, after a few events, mine's next. So I get up and get in line behind the block where we are going to dive in the pool. And it's my first event of my first meet ever. And it's fly, the hardest stroke. And I've never been more nervous. I can feel my heart bounding in my chest. I nervously ask a stranger from another team to help me put on my swim cap, and then I put on my goggles. And by the time I get everything on, I look up and there's no one in front of me. I'm next. The ref whistles, so I think I'm supposed to get up on the block. I look right, I look left, and I see everyone else getting on the blocks, so I hurry up with them. Then, after a few seconds, up on the block, I hear, "Swimmers, take your mark." And I dive in, kicking as hard as I can, going as fast as I can. I can feel my muscles fatiguing, and I don't think I'm going to finish. On my last 25 yards, I can see everyone else finishing as I'm struggling to get to the end. By the last, 10 or 15 yards, I think I'm going backwards with every stroke. I feel like I'm never going to finish. Someone's going to have to pull me out of the pool. But somehow, I managed to get to the end, and I grab to the wall and cling on as I finish the event. The swimmer next to me puts up his fist for a friendly bump, and I feel less horrible about my terrible swim as I give him a fist bump. The next event dives in, and I manage to get myself out of the pool. My coach deeply, deeply apologizes for putting me in fly in my first meet ever, and I'm starting to feel better about myself. Before I get back to the team, they're greeting me and they're sympathizing with me about being in fly and this being my first event of my first meet ever, and my negative feelings start to go away. We start talking about something else, and I feel ready for my next event already, and I'm ready for the next 3 years of swim. So, swim's not just about the competition. It's about the swimmers from the other teams that become meet buddies over time. It's about your teammates that sympathize with you for your poor swim or congratulate you on your personal best time. It's about that random competing swimmer that silently offers you a fist bump after your event. It's about your coach treating you as a person, not just a time for an event. Swim is not the individual lonely sport that many think of it as. It is centered on a friendly, accepting community and a fun social environment. So, thank you for listening to the podcast. I hope I've opened your mind to a side of swim that most people don't really think about.